Once again, very warm welcome. My name is Ankita Magdani, and I'm one of the professional development coaches, and we are from the Student Life team. And I have Suma with me.
Hi everyone, welcome again. I'm Suma, your professional development coach based out of Abu Dhabi campus.
And today, together, we are going to be talking about team dynamics. As you must have noticed in the previous video, both of us were talking about small talks, and Suma particularly took us through the whole presentation and told us the importance of small talk, how the small talk can help in your team settings, especially in the partner challenge project. We will dive deeper into this presentation and understand what is team dynamics, how is it actually going to help you in your partner challenge project. Okay, so in this presentation, by the end of the presentation, you will understand what a team dynamic is. You'll understand the importance of team dynamics. We will also introduce you to the concept called as psychological safety and its benefits. I know it's a mouthful, but by the end of the presentation, you will be able to understand what it is. You'll understand team values and your particular values, your own individual values. We will also talk about the importance of teamwork and being accountable to performing clear roles. What is accountability and why is it important in a team setting? We will also introduce the team agreements. We will talk a lot more about team agreements and team roles when we meet in person in your lab session. But this is a prerequisite, and we recommend that and suggest that all students go through this entire presentation and the team agreement in advance so that you have a better understanding. Moving on. What is team dynamics? Huge word, big word. What is team dynamics? Now, have you ever wondered why some teams struggle and some are so successful? It is something that we need to put a thought on, right? Team dynamics is nothing but it's a relationship between team members, how they perform, how they communicate, especially when they have to achieve a particular goal, how they attend themselves in the meeting, and how they work together in a team setting to achieve that goal. Now, some of the good examples for team dynamics would be conflict resolution, communication during a project, or commitment on towards meeting a timeline or a project. These are certain areas where team dynamics are extremely useful. Let's dive deeper into psychological safety. Now, I know I told you at the beginning, we will talk about it. It's a new concept. Before I introduce you to the concept of psychological safety, let's understand what is psychology in general. Psychology is a study of mind and behavior in human settings, obviously the human mind and human behavior, and how that behavior and the mind can be implemented or affect the workplace setting. So there is a whole department of psychology, and in business psychology, we obviously talk about the workplace of psychology and how employees and their behaviors impact in a workplace setting. Let's dive deeper into psychological safety. What is psychological safety? What is this big word? Why is it important for us to know? As you see in the screen, the definition is psychological safety is a belief that the work environment is safe for interpersonal risk-taking. Safe for what? For what? Why do we need a safe environment? We need a safe environment to take risks, like it says, to take risk in terms of making a good decision, whether this is right or wrong. Maybe your gut feeling sometimes is saying this decision, yes, it's risky, but it's worth taking. Risk for accepting that I have made a mistake and acknowledging that this mistake is made, and how do we learn from this mistake. Psychological safety is practically making a safe space for your employees, for your teammates in this case, and having a comfortable work environment. How do we cultivate it? You cultivate it by just being accessible and approachable. So be yourself. Literally just be yourself, be approachable, be friendly, allow people to come and talk to you. You go and talk to, remember small talks, go and talk to people, have meaningful conversations, and create a room for safe environment. Acknowledge the limits of your current knowledge. What does that mean? It means that not necessary that you will always have all the information all the time. And it's okay to say, you know what, I do not have the information right now. I will come back to you. Be willing to accept and learn from mistakes. We are all human beings. We all make mistakes. You probably must have noticed that I stammered a lot of time. I made a mistake, but it's human. It is okay to make mistakes, but you have to accept that you've made a mistake and create an environment where your colleagues or your team members can come and tell you that, you know what, I've made a mistake. Please help me rectify this mistake. invite participation. So when you accept your mistakes or when you're approachable, obviously your team members will come and talk to you. But at the same time, you as a team member ensure that you have participations from all the members of your team. Use clear language instead of using heavy or indirect language that maybe have a very clear instruction or a very clear language when communicating with your team members. Remember, we all operate differently. We all have different personalities. Remember the tiger or the dolphin, we all have a different operating system. So use a clear language. Hold people accountable and responsible. Meaning, if you have said something that I'm going to work on this project, ensure that you work towards the project. Ask somebody else to keep a check on you. Ask somebody to remind you, you know what, I need the project by Monday. Can you please remind me? So that way you're holding somebody accountable for the job that you're supposed to do. That person can give you a subtle reminder. You are responsible for the job that you have been taken. Okay. In short, this is what is psychological safety. All you have to do is literally be yourself and make room for mistakes and take risks. What are the benefits? What are the benefits of psychological safety? Why do we need to implement or cultivate an environment full of psychological safety? Well, because of many reasons. One, we want people to speak up. We want to hear the voices of the team members. And in an organization setting, employees need to voice their opinions. In your partner challenge setting, this would mean encouraging your team members to bring in the ideas. If they are not comfortable with a particular solution, encourage them to speak and ask them what is the reason behind they not liking an idea. That would invite a lot of creativity. That would invite a lot of new ideas. It would invite a lot of more innovation probably in that case. This will also enable clarity of thought. So maybe somebody is not understood something. The moment you invite participation, the moment you invite people to speak up, it will also help other members to understand their thought process and clarify any problems or challenges that they have had in the past. It supports productive conflict. Now, remember, conflict is very, very natural in a team setting, and also it is very important in a team setting. Not all conflicts are always bad. In fact, conflict is considered to be the most beneficial thing in a team setting because it brings out creativity, it brings out engagement. It also helps in relationship building and bonding between the team members, because that's how you can bond with your team members, your employees, and you come to know how well to operate next time. So understand and acknowledge and know that every conflict is a good conflict and it is needed for productivity. It helps you overcome failures. Obviously, when you speak about it, when you talk about the challenges that you've had, you will also overcome the failure that you might have faced. Like we spoke about, it promotes innovation and creativity. It removes obstacles to pursuing goals. When we start speaking about the problems, when we start encouraging participations, we will have better clarity that will help us take one step forward to achieving the goals that we want to achieve. It increases accountability and responsibilities, as we spoke about. It gives us an extra edge that we need to take a certain task, and that is our baby. We need to work towards it. So that increases your responsibility towards the project. Moving forward, values. In a team setting or in an individual as a person, what are values? As you read on the screen again, it's the principle that helps you decide what is right and wrong and how you act in a various situation. If you reflect back, probably just take a few seconds and just reflect back. And if you want to pause the screen, do that. Reflect back on all the times that you've made decisions and what were the value systems behind taking those decisions. Were you taking the decisions based on your value system? And if yes, how did that impact your decision-making process? So it's very important to understand and know what are your personal and individual values. And remember, you can always reach out to your coach over here. We will help you through understanding what your values are. And how do you apply that in your team setting? So what are your team values? It is again similarly like your individual values in an organization setting, or here in this case, in your partner challenge setting amongst your team values are your collective and fundamental beliefs, visions, missions, personal and work ethics and core principles. So probably as a team, your personal team values could be that we want to be in a position where we are collaboratively working together. So your values could be collaboration. Your values could be punctuality, where we ensure that everybody comes to the meeting on time. We want to ensure that there is discipline, that everybody takes responsibility for what they. So you see what I'm doing is I'm giving you, what you are doing is you're setting your team values. So try and understand within your team settings, speak to your team members and understand what is our team derived by, what is motivating us to be together as a team, and how your personal values can be implemented in your team settings. Moving further, Suma is going to take you to the chronotype.
Hello again. So during the previous session, so you all worked out on understanding what your chronotype is. Chronotype is basically your way of working, learning, or interacting with others also, right? It's basically the flow of energy and which assures that you are at your maximum productivity, right? So once you understand this, we will be discussing about this, but once you understand what you are and what your personality is, it helps you to be understood by the team members, and it helps you understand your strengths and accordingly decide how you can contribute and be the best part of the team. uh, all of you students are grouped in different teams, so you have various roles in the teams that you will opt for. Now, why do we need various roles, right? So any team can reach its highest potential when all of its team members contribute to the best of their abilities, right? So now, once you understand what your strengths are, what you'll be good at, so in the upcoming lab, we will give you time to understand, who will be signing up for which role. But basically, these are the roles, right? So first role is agenda tracker, where you'll come up with what are the agenda items to be discussed in various milestone meetings, in various group settings that you come together. So you'll discuss what the agenda is and whether we have discussed all the points we wanted to discuss or have we missed out on any of the items, and then inform the partner challenge specialist accordingly, right? So that's agenda tracker. Point of contact, so you will be main point of contact for communication between the team or among the team members, mentor, and the partner challenge specialist, as well as your coach, right? So you are one point of contact. Each team has only one point of contact who will be responsible for communication. By communication, we mean setting up the milestone meetings, setting up team meetings or group coaching sessions with the coach. It could be any of those action items, right? Team note taker. So whenever you guys discuss, whenever you all come together as a team and you have discussed some action items or responsibilities, so team note taker is responsible to make a note of all of that and communicate to the rest of the team. Accountability partner, by accountability you mean being responsible, right? So accountability partner will ensure that all the people who have chosen the roles are adhering to the role or are taking the responsibilities and completing them, right? And we have partner challenge support. So if you, most of the teams are 4 and 5. So if you are 5-member team, then the fifth one will be the partner challenge support. So you will be supporting all the other team members. And for example, if there is a team note taker who is not available for the next couple of weeks, so then you will pitch in and support the team. So these roles are very well designed to ensure that you succeed as a partner challenge group, right? So every role is important. There is no distinguish between, each role. This role is important. This is a small role. No, every role is very, very crucial to ensure that you be successful in the project. Okay, so in the upcoming meeting, we will be discussing about all of these. If you still have any doubts about these, read through the team dynamics documents that we'll be giving, team agreement documents, and then we'll be discussing your doubts in the upcoming session. Team agreements basically is a written contract. By contract, it means understanding. You come up and say, yes, this is what I agree, right? You as a teammates, you come together and say, this is what we mutually agree, that this is my role and I will ensure that I complete these responsibilities. So you will have an agreement, mutual agreement within the group. This is my role. This is the partner challenge problem that I'm working on, and this is the mentor that I'll be working with, right? So you'll be understanding about all of that when we discuss team agreements in the lab.
Thank you, Suma. So finally, towards the end of the presentation, we just want to ensure that we've covered all the points. So what you've understood today by the presentation, and feel free to please rewind the presentation if need be. But what we spoke about is to be accessible and approachable, and ways on how to cultivate the psychologically safe environment. We spoke about the importance of increasing accountability and responsibility. We also understood how important it is to identify your values and obviously to identify your team values. Remember to read your team agreements before you come for the lab session. Obviously, we will talk about the team agreements a lot more in detail. However, we do suggest and advise that you just browse through the team agreements to get a better understanding. So when we speak about it in the class, you have a better grip on it. And please book a coaching session with your assigned coach. By now, you should be having an assigned coach and a partner challenge specialist. As a coach, we would help you identify your team values. We will help you identify any roles that needs clarity as well. And